Hey, my name is Andrew Walker, the CEO of the SA Property Investors Network, and I'm stood outside a property here in Birchleigh, Kempton Park, with yet another successful story that's come out of Tuhf. And I'm stood next to the portfolio manager for this area with Tuhf. So please, can you just introduce yourself and we'll start there.
All right, thanks, Andrew. I'm Mahlatse Kekane. I'm a portfolio manager at Tuhf. As Andrew alluded to, this is one of the successful projects we managed to complete this year. And we'll just be taking you through the story of how it happened.
Absolutely, the story, some learnings and some lessons. So with this specific property, was there already a building on the site or was this vacant? Did the owner have lots of experience? But maybe take us through the whole journey.
So the property was completely vacant. It was like a veldt here. It was bushes.
Okay.
It looked totally different to what it was now. The property owner didn't have any experience at all. He just saw a vision for himself to want to enter into the property business. He drove past the site one day and saw it was on auction.
Just thought, I'll buy it.
And just thought, without a plan in place, I'll buy it. A few months down the line, he started to try to access financing. At the time, he could only access your personal loans and things like that, and was relying on his own cash flow. And he managed to build a substantial amount, say until halfway.
Okay.
And along the journey, he fortunately found Tuhf, and that's where we came in.
Okay, fantastic. So I guess a good thing is he got stuck into the project, but perhaps he didn't run his numbers, or because he had no experience, he didn't quite know what to expect. Because I often see people get into developments, be it 4 units, 10 units, or 100, but they don't realize how expensive the holding costs are with doing a project like this. And that's the problem. If you do run out of money, where do you go? So anyway, fortunately for this owner, he found you guys. And what did you do? How did it work? Did you come on site? Did you run the numbers? What happened?
So fortunately, he had already gone through the plan approval stage. We had an idea of what it would take to complete the project in terms of the numbers.
Yeah.
We came up to site, we did some feasibility studies on it, and we indicated to him that, based on the equity that he's put in, we'd be able to finance it. And that was at 100% debt because he had already invested a substantial amount of money into the project. Yeah.
So you came along and you finished the project with him. Give us some timescales from when he first found the property to getting it to, say, halfway. How long was that, more or less? Was it months? Was it years? And then when you came on board, was that months or years?
So because he was doing it slowly with his own cash flow and some borrowings that he managed to get, it took quite a long time, some years.
A few years, eh?
Yeah. Okay. And after the loan was granted, we completed the project. Taking into account the COVID breaks within a few months.
So when did this project actually finish? Was it 2020 then, or 2019, or?
It's 2020, December 2020.
Oh, so it's still new, hey? Fresh.
It's still freshly new.
Yeah.
It's lit, as you can see, and it's running well.
And tell me, are these 1-bed flats, 2-bed flats? Is it student accommodation? Is it general multi-let? What type of properties are they?
They are multi-lets. They are all 2-bedroom units. There's 8 of them, and like I said, they are all new build.
Sure.
Yeah.
And more or less, what can one expect to get in terms of rental here?
It's around the 6,000 Rand region mark.
Yeah.
Take into account, you have to be softer in your escalations and kind of account for the environment right now. It's around that mark.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And we are going to have a quick walkthrough. Before we do that, what would you say if someone's watching this video right now and they'd love to do a development like this, a small one, 8 units? What are the 3 or 4 or 5 things one should consider before they get into a project like this?
I think primarily the construction cost is what drives the project.
Okay.
After you've purchased the project, the construction costs are very important in that the more detail you have in terms of your plans, your BOQs, the more accurately you can forecast the kind of expenses you should be expecting. So it's to look really at getting an accurate forecast in terms of your construction costs, and that would really be what drives our feasibility.
Absolutely, and making sure that there is a demand for that type of unit in the area as well.
Yes, of course. we are surrounded by complexes which are similar. So in the area, based on our research as well, there's quite a high demand for these types of units.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Let's go have a quick walk around. And in the meantime, remember, if you want to connect with Tuhf, just go to Sapin and have a look at Sapin Connect. Click on the link and you can connect with Tuhf and you can speak to one of their portfolio managers.